All right, it's time for our Inspire segment. And Rose Jabbour, an inspirational, intuitive medium and Reiki master, practicing throughout Windsor and Toronto since '99, joining me. Rose, thank you for being on the show.
Oh, thank you, Kara. I'm very excited about it.
Now, stuff fascinates me, and it's just become bigger and bigger when we see TV is making people more aware of the gifts that people have around the world. How did you get into being, an intuitive like this, medium, Reiki master, involved in all of this type of work?
Well, it's really interesting, Kara, because things like this happen out of the blue. They're unplanned, and it's usually because something happens in someone's life and changes happen. And for me, I had lost my job. There was just layoffs at the time. And I came across a person who was taking Reiki, and I took the course with her. And, that was a time of really soul searching and seeking. And I came across a karmic astrologer, and he said, "You've done this before in past lives. You've read, you've been a healer, and this is your path. You need to take it on." So that's what I did. I started practicing the Reiki. I did a lot of Reiki on myself just to really see what was going on, just to really feel, is this working? Is this effective? And I started doing readings for people, and I was just amazed at how many people would tell me that what I was saying was bang on, was accurate. And so that was my confirmation that what I was doing was the right thing. And so over the years, I've had to really work at it. I've had to really build up my confidence and just keep practicing. And as I practiced and as I trusted and become connected with the spiritual realm, God and the angels and the ascended masters, it really started to open up even more.
For people who don't know what Reiki is, give a little explanation.
Okay. Reiki is a hands-on healing, and it's over-the-body healing touch where you have universal life force energy coming through your body. And as you're putting your hands on the person's body, it works to open up the energetic blocks in the body. And as those energetic blocks are opened up, then a person's true natural chi energy or essence or trying to think of the word right now.
Like their true being comes through?
Their true being comes through. It touches people right at the core, helps to just let go of the layers above the core that are not really the person. They're just belief systems and patterns and things that people have taken on over the years.
So what kind of maybe specific things are people dealing with that you can help them with using this method?
Anything from physical pain, anything from emotional pain, if people are tired. What it does is it helps to relieve a lot of the stress in the nervous system, and it helps people to feel rejuvenated. Reiki essentially means love, so it brings forth this loving energy, this peaceful energy. I've had people come to me who said that, they had trouble sleeping, and within 10 minutes, they were sleeping.
Right.
They were resting.
Now, what about being a medium as well? How did you get involved with that?
Well, it's kind of linked to the Reiki in that when you are a Reiki channeler, you're channeling the energy through you. So as I was doing the Reiki and as I started doing the readings, I started to pick up certain energies within my body that were telling me that I was getting more than just, a simple reading, that I was getting impressions and I was getting senses. I was seeing dates and numbers and all kinds of things like that. So
was your first experience with that kind of shocking for you when it came through?
Yes, it was, especially when people would say, wow, I have experienced that. Yeah, that is happening to me. I think in the beginning, it is kind of subtle. And what happens is over time, as you practice it, it's just like when you're working out muscles. The more that you work with it, the more you get fed.
Definitely.
So, Yeah. So over the years, more gifts would come through. And I would have, readers say to me, your psychic ability is going up. And I'd say, really? Again?
Is there anyone specific over the years that you've done this with that was like really memorable to you?
That I've done Reiki with or done Reiki for? For. Yeah. My massage therapist was having some health challenges, and she came to see me for Reiki. And I hadn't seen her for a while, and then she came back and she said, Rose, you would not believe how incredible I felt from the Reiki that you've given me. And she started to send me a lot of her clients. And so over the years, we've continued to give treatments to each other.
Now, in terms of when we hear medium and we think of you communicating, with maybe the other side, is that something that you will sit down and do a reading with? Because I know it's just become so much more popular because of John Edwards, because of the Long Island medium. We're seeing it more and more. We're kind of inundated with this, and it's opening up people's minds that there's something else going on out there, that there's a lot of critics, but it's kind of quieting critics. Do people come to you for that specifically?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Sometimes people want to have a connection with a deceased loved one. And sometimes I just get impressions for people, and I think they need to hear something from the other side. There are people that may be in distress and they're really struggling and they really don't know what to do. And so they'll come to me with their situation, and I'll think, oh, what am I going to say, right? Mm-hmm. It's not me saying it, it's coming through me. So I've learned to trust that whatever is coming through me will come together. And that's what happens. It comes together like pieces in a puzzle, and by the time I'm done the reading, the solution has formed.
Now, do you think, is there a lot of people that come to you that maybe the block is not being able to forgive? They're having, trouble with something in the past, and that's really blocking, their future pursuits?
Yes, and I've talked to a lot of people about forgiveness. What's really interesting is that I will read for somebody, I'll scan their body energetically, and I'll pick up impressions, and I'll read for them, and then we'll flip over the cards, and the cards will be simultaneous with what I said. And a lot of times if I said forgiveness, that forgiveness card will actually come up.
Now, in doing this, over this number of years, and you're getting stronger and stronger, is there ever a time, do you have to call upon it, or do you get breaks? Because I would think that once you're so intuitive that everywhere you walk, you're probably seeing things and picking up on things.
Yes, yeah. And that's the thing. I'm so aware that I have to really be in touch with my center. I have to stay in my center. I have to stay connected to that God, life force energy within me, so that I don't get pulled out by too many things happening out there. So a lot of times what I do is, I say to myself, whatever's going on with people, it's none of my business. When I meet with them and they want a reading, that's when I tap in and I do the work.
Now, what would you recommend for people to get more kind of in tune with that life force, more in tune with this part of their being? What would be some of your recommendations?
Well, I usually recommend going out in nature. That's one of the signs of truth on Earth. When you're out in nature, you're in truth. That's reality right there. The breath, breathing in, is very, very important. And conversations with God, that's what I have done. I've had conversations with God, and I've noticed the signs as I'm asking for questions, and I receive signs. You do have to have downtime. You have to slow down, and you have to be able to be still enough to listen. I also talk about writing, how important writing is, because it gets you in touch with your truth and what's really going on within you. After a while of writing, the truth and the wisdom really do start to come forward.
It's funny you said that, conversations with God, because I think a lot of people are hesitant because you think you have to have a specific prayer, or you have to have this connection or certain words. And the way I describe it is it's like talking to your best friend, someone who's always there for you, you can communicate with, and you'll receive answers from and guidance from. And it's just like saying, hey, how's it going? What should I do here? Or thanks for letting me do that. It's like just a basic conversation that you could have with a best friend.
Yeah, and beyond your best friend. God is infinite and knows all and is in charge of everything. And when you are very real and raw with God and you open up your heart, even if you're crying, even if you're, even if you're in an emotional state, that's the point, when you start to cry and you really open up, that the miracles start coming through, that things will start coming forward because you've stepped into your authenticity.
Right. That's a great way to put it. Tell me about the event happening next weekend, Saturday, June 6th.
Okay, we're having an event called Awakening Spring Bazaar. It's going to be at the Royal Canadian Legion, Branch 143 on Marentette, 1570 Marentette. And I had this idea of bringing holistic wellness and spiritual businesses together in a low-cost way that would be free admission to the public. And that idea was directed by God. I really felt the need to put this out in the community. I wanted to help promote people in their businesses, and I wanted the community to have a chance to see what's out there. This is a year of significant change, and as people are going through challenges and changes, this is, I believe, a great venue where people can come together and, just be around loving, caring people that are supportive and explore the possibilities for healing and wellness.
Yeah, I think it'll have definitely a great energy of people, because the concept is love, the concept is healing, and it's going to have an all-around great feeling. Do we have a lot of holistic type healers in this area?
We do. Between Windsor and Essex County, we've got people coming in from Bell River and to come see in places around Windsor as well. There are, and this is what I found, that there were people that weren't really out in the community that I was getting in touch with, I was learning about and thinking, wow, we got to get these people out together in one place so that the community can see who is out there. A lot of people do them out of their homes, or they don't promote themselves a lot. So this is the reason that I wanted to do this.
Now, will there be little maybe mini healing? Because when you go to a epicure type of place, or there's little food vendors, or you go to a spa type of day, there's maybe a mini pedicure, manicure. Do you have these type of scenarios here as well?
Yes, we do. Yeah, mini readings, mini massages. We've got Reiki. Some energy healings. There's all kinds of energy healings. So there's a number of different ones that will be there as well, and some coaching.
And do you have will there be speakers?
Yes, there will be speakers as well. Yeah.
And so the admission is free, and it is happening next Saturday.
Right.
All right. And how can people get a hold of you, Rose? You have your own business as well?
Yes.
And tell me about that.
My business is Sacred Rose. They can call me at 226-246-4486.
Okay, perfect. And there you do all your channeling and Reiki and, medium work as well.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much, Rose, for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Kara. It was great. Nice talking to you.
All right. Again, that Spring Bazaar is happening next weekend, Saturday, June 6th, called Awakenings at the Royal Canadian Legion, Branch 143 at 1570 Marentette. Rose will be hosting it, assisted by Brenda Morin, and it's the first annual holistic event. So 32 vendors,